Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Claiborne. So these two dolls are in intensive care. So this doll over here, the Little Mermaid doll, she smells of cat pee in her hair. So I'm hoping that the cat urine didn't soak down into the glue, but regardless, I've already washed and deep conditioned her hair once. It didn't get it all out. So I don't have baking soda, or I would just soak her head in some baking soda today. So I'm putting the Dawn, I put Dawn on there, and then I'm just letting her sit in the sun and let that soak in for a little while. And then doll number 2, she's in really intensive care. She was wearing this purple gown, and apparently it's never been rinsed, so the dye was in it, and so the dye went into her skin. Where the skin, well, the plastic is less porous, I was able to just use a bleach wipe and get the purple marks off of, where it's a little tougher. It's less porous. When you get down to this type of plastic, or especially the leg type of plastic that's very pliable, it's a little bit harder to get it off of there. So, and also she's got a damage here, and she has chewed feet, and her hair is hideous. So a lot of people will use acne cream to get stains, to get ink out. So this is dye, a little different than ink. So I'm just going to mix up some clay and like that clay that you use for making beauty products out of, just dried clay and peroxide. And I'm just going to make up a paste. The clay will be my drawing medium. It'll draw the stain out, the dyes out, if I can talk. The clay powder will draw the stains out of the porous material, and the peroxide will act as a bleaching agent. So we'll have a drawing, a bleaching, and then we'll do a boil wash on her hair. As far as this in her leg, I'm just going to use probably like Gorilla Super Glue and electrical, I can't talk. Sorry, I had to get my thoughts. A zip tie. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying today. I'm trying to get all my errands done and then come back into my Barbie world. So forgive me. I've been out in the world for a few minutes. Now I'm back. So I'm going to mix up the clay and the peroxide. I'm going to use some of these long Q-tips and just apply it to the purple marks. And then I'm going to leave her in legs out exposed to the sun. Meanwhile, we're going to rinse all the dye that I can get out. I mean, it's a beautiful purple color, but if you put it on a doll, it's going to transfer. So that gown is going to get rinsed. And then I'll have to just keep rinsing her hair. I may even have to boil wash her hair just to get the smell of cat urine out. Here we go. Okay, so I just applied a nice thick paste of it, and then I'm gonna leave her sit in the sun for a few minutes. The reason why I think that this will work is because when I was a teenager and I would get a breakout, I would just mix peroxide and baking soda, and I would apply it to my breakout areas and then leave it on overnight, which it would dry and then kind of peel off during the night or whatever and be on my pillow, which my mother didn't mind because it was just baking soda. And it would just, she sometimes put that in the laundry anyways, but it would always clear up my breakouts overnight. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist, so I'm not telling anybody else to do that. But it would draw out the dirt, oil, and impurities, and my skin would clear up overnight, and I never had to buy any kind of acne cream. Of course, I didn't have acne, I just had the regular breakouts every once in a while. So I can't speak to acne, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to draw out at least some of that purple dye. Now I'm going to get something and bandage that little spot on her leg. Oh, and also her feet are chewed, so she's going to have to be one of my dolls that wears shoes all the time. Normally I don't leave shoes on them because it puts marks on their feet, but she already has deformed feet, and so shoes will be a nice concealer for that. And then I'll tackle her hair. All right, so that paste should draw out the ink or dye, and that zip tie closed her wound. So now we're going to take the other doll who's been sitting in the sun for a while with Dawn in her scalp, and I'm going to rinse her out and give her the old sniff test. Meanwhile, we're going to wash some of this purple dye out of this beautiful gown. So I left this Barbie with the cat urine on her scalp. I left her with Dawn dish soap on her hair, a little bit thick, and sitting in the sun for about 20 minutes. And then I rinsed the Dawn out by swishing her head underwater, dunking it several times. But she's a mermaid, so she doesn't really mind. And then I gave her a final rinse with a Vino baby wash and shampoo. She's sitting here in the salon. We're going to turn on the fan in a minute and let her hair dry. I did put the band around her hair so that it'll dry a little bit flatter to her head. And then with the gown, same thing. I only used a Vino baby wash shampoo on the gown. I wanted the most delicate soap I could find. Some purple dye came out, but not too much. I didn't really squeeze it or scrub it or anything too harsh, and just mostly gently hand agitated it in a bowl of rainwater, and then rinsed it thoroughly. And then I was setting it on this dress form, and then we'll turn, I don't want to put it in the sun to dry, so I'm going, because I don't want more fading, so I'm just going to turn on the fan and let both dry here in the salon. Barbie's got lots to do. She's got her tablet and her phone. She's got some bonbons to eat, so we're just going to leave her be and let her enjoy her day at the spa. Okay, she had it on about 20 minutes, I'd say, and there's a little spot left there. There's some very light bruising along here and here. So I'm going to reapply it to just those spots and lighten that up even more. Otherwise, it just all came off. So like I said, this is not ink, this is dye, so two different things. And I think it's working quite well. So I'm going to do a little more application just on those couple of spots and let her sit another 20 minutes in the sun. My biggest problem is chasing the sun. Okay, so I looked at her back and I did a Google image, and her back does say 1966 patent pending Japan. And so I don't know how old of a Barbie she is, how vintage. It's a little bit of a bruise right there. Everything else came off really well. It made a huge, I don't know if you're seeing this, but it made a huge difference. So her legs are pretty again. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this band off of her leg and give her a quick bath. And then we'll get started on her hair. So friends, here's the final reveal of the two unlikely friends. So it turns out that Merlia the mermaid had a cat piss curse put upon her by a dreadful witch, and she was out in the valley trying to find magical waters to remove the cat piss curse when she happened upon the beautiful Princess Catherine. Catherine had fallen off her royal steed. She had a gaping wound on her leg, and she was bruised, traumatically bruised on the lower half of her body, and couldn't get back to her kingdom. And so Merlia helped Catherine get back to her castle, where the royal doctors fixed her right up. So now she has a scar on her knee, but she's all healed up, and now she's wearing royal purple boots. Decided in the end not to boil wash her hair. I just like the natural sort of fuzziness to it. I don't know why. I just sort of liked it with Catherine. So I just gave her a slight updo. We added some embellishments to her hair. Someone else had pierced her ears, so I went ahead and gave her pearl earrings. We gave her a royal necklace and a heart belt. And Merlia has the terrible cat piss curse removed from her hair. And now the two, although unlikely friends, have become inseparable. Hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you'll subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video where we'll do something more interesting. Much, much love and light. Many blessings.